Chapter 1. Crackling pops of released steam and gases fill my ears while my eyes blur at the waving light. It's all I can do to keep my eyes awake, my eyes open. I mentally shake. My brain feels like mush. It's been a long day. While it's been a good night, it's also been a long night. Jaiden? Her voice sounds through my hazy mind. My head snaps towards the sound. Dominique tilts her head a little. The tips of her hair scrunch against her shoulder on one side and lifts on the other. Lost in space again? Takes a good long second for my brain to piece together what she said and what she actually means. I think I'm just tired. Did we keep you up too late? John asks with a smirk. Yes, I nod pointedly while huffing out a chuckle. I don't even want to know what time it is. At least none of us have to be up early for school or work today. Dominique grins sweetly. Neither of them looks tired, and I don't know how they're so wide awake. Maybe it's the coffee they had earlier. Bleh, coffee. Rillian sleeps soundly next to Dominique, lying all along the bench. I'm jealous in the moment. She can fall asleep anywhere and stay asleep. The little girl has slept through us talking at regular speech levels and unhindered laughter. Meanwhile, I wake if someone looks at me wrong. I go back to stare at the fire. I should get up, but I can't will my body to move. It's too much effort that I don't care to do until I have to. John is the first of us to move. He makes a groan as he gets up. I imagine he forced Dominique to move subsequently with the removal of his arm that was wrapped around her and his side she was leaning against. Well, I guess that's it for tonight, he announces, and that is that. The light hisses as it's doused with a pail of water. I look to him with the sudden disappearance of my moth light. It's darker now. I know it'll take a moment for my eyes to adjust, but I don't know if I need them to. John pours another bucket of water on the fire to put it out the rest of the way, then a third bucket to make certain of it. Dominique turns on an electric lantern while John gathers up Raylene. If she doesn't stay asleep, she doesn't show it. If she is awake, pretending to be asleep just to be carried would be worth it for the free trip. I get up from my seat. The air is colder now. I hug my arms into myself to try, without avail, to keep some of the warmth. Without the fire, even with my hoodie, cold creeps into my bones. It never takes long. The only good thing about the cold is that all the mosquitoes and wasps are gone now. I dread to think about what awaits in another month or two. Piercing cold and snow, and all the shoveling. We trek out of the field across the road and to our house on the left. I open the yellow door. My eyes open. A soft smile stretches across my face as I almost melt with relief. I do see them again. Everyone appeared happy and healthy. Dominique, most surprisingly, with shoulder-length haircut. It looks good, though. A nice change to her long mid-back length. Probably way easier to take care of in the apocalypse. It places finality to the question of whether or not trusting these people is a good idea. My biker friends will get me home safe and sound. They'll keep their word. My first observations had been right. It's laid out like a campground, or rather a summer camp, like the one I went to for a grade 6 band camp trip. The biggest cabin is the main building for gatherings, meals, and comfort, while the other cabins are filled with bunk beds or bathrooms. I don't know if all the sleeping cabins are the same, but this one has 6 wooden bunk beds, 1 long dresser, a mirror, a small garbage can, and a broken mini fridge. I don't know if all the sleeping cabins are the same, but this one has 6 wooden bunk beds, 1 long dresser and mirror, a small garbage can, and a broken mini fridge. Alette brought me to the cabin she sleeps in. I think she kicked someone out of their bed for their night, but I can't prove it. A book lies in the corner of my pillow with a bookmark in place, evidence that someone uses this bed for something. But Alette said they were out and about, so it'd be fine for me to use it for the night. I was too tired to argue and care about the germs. Sleep met me quickly, unusually so, once I settled in. I didn't even have time to think about sending out messages for Dominique and them. I look around discreetly at first, then more obvious as I think I'm alone in this cabin. I scan with my eyes, then crane with my head a little bit. Without signs of anyone else, I get braver and lift up to look around. There's no one in here. That'll make this easier. I pull out my phone and turn it on. It seems wild that just last night I had to turn it off in fear of the noise giving me away to people or animals that might be hunting me. I hope they aren't still looking for me. We aren't far, not far enough that they We aren't far, not far enough that they wouldn't be able to find us. I hope they don't. It wouldn't be fair to these nice people to be punished or drawn into something because of me. Then again, we are a bit into the forest. Maybe they'd just pass on by, assuming I'd keep to the road. Once the phone is completely on, I open up my message screen for John. Hey, long story, but I'm fine. I'll elaborate once back. I'll be home soon. I found a nice biker gang. Nope. I erase biker gang and continue typing. Group of people who promised they'd get me home safely. I trust them and they've got vehicles. I should be home in the next couple of days. Is there a way to get a message to Cole? I didn't come across him. I press send. The phone does something it hasn't done before. I press send. The phone does something it hasn't done before. The message is stalled on the screen. I click it, but nothing pops up. I try clicking and holding, but nothing happens. A thought pings into my head. Could I be out of service? My old phone did that a lot. There was even a certain spot in my basement where I couldn't do anything with that phone. Sure enough, when I look for the service icon, there's an X through it. The phone finally catches on and tells me that the message will send once there's service. I guess I finally found a place where this phone doesn't have service. It worked fine in the mountains, but I guess this forest is a dead zone. No service and no internet. I bet it'll send once I get back to the road. I double-check the volume is off to make sure I'm not suddenly inundated by a bunch of dinging messages. I'll have to keep it on, or else the message might not send until my next bit of privacy, which could be another dead zone. If it happens once, it could happen again, and now that I know it's a possibility, I'll have to be aware of it. I don't know these people well enough to trust them with the phone secret. While I can trust them to get me home, I don't know them well enough for this particular topic. It might still be best to make sure I don't tell them too much information. I wouldn't want them to take away my phone and my only source of communication to my people. It's still always a possibility that there might be trouble, whether these people give me trouble or someone else along the way does. With everyone already up, I face an awkward situation now. Anywhere I go, I'm going to be interrupting something. I wonder what time it is. Can I trust the phone time with it having been turned off and no service? How long did I sleep? I didn't check the time before I went to sleep, but I didn't check the time before I went to bed last night. It was such a long day yesterday, and I might have slept longer than usual. Which means I should get up and start being productive. They'll likely already be packing up and getting ready for the trip. They're already going so far out of the way for me, I wouldn't want to inconvenience them more by having to wait on me. I crawl out of the top bunk and make it to the cold ground. At least I don't have to get dressed, I muse. That's one good thing about having slept in the same clothes from the day before. I grab my bag near the long dresser and put my shoes on near the door. A warmth waves over me as I exit the cabin. It's much warmer this morning, or maybe afternoon, judging by the sun's position. I can't believe I slept so long. I didn't think to check the time when I was on my phone. It was right there, but my head can't pull up any recollection of what it looked like. Not that it might even be accurate with the lacking connection. I already went through this. I guess my brain is a bit scattered this morning. Maybe I didn't sleep as long as I thought. I briefly stop at the bathroom cabin to get ready, dropping my stuff back off with my bag, then continue on my way to the long cabin. I hope they have something for breakfast, but I can eat one of my granola bars if they don't. I look into the forest. It's different than it was last night. Under the cover of darkness, the woods felt so closed in. Yet it felt like something could pop out of the woods at any moment. With the light of day, I can see as far as the spaces between the trees will let me. It isn't so mysterious when I can see everything. I still keep my head on a swivel, looking for any bears or cougars that might wander into camp. Is that all that would be out there? That's all Mom ever warned me about. I've never looked into what dangers might be in the forests of BC. Following the worn dirt path, I find the connecting path to the long cabin. I see the motorcycles first. Then, once I go around the corner of one sleeping cabin, I can see the long one. My stolen bike leans against the tree near the porch. I quietly climb the stairs and take a moment to breathe. I prepare my smile and open the door. Heads turn at my intrusion from all the people amassed on and around the furniture. I definitely interrupted something. Morning, I chirp sweetly, then wave quickly. Don't show them you notice the serious tone in the air, nor the sullen looks, I tell myself. I'm largely ignored, or my greeting is returned quietly. Why aren't they getting ready to go? There's no pile of bags waiting at the door, no supplies being collected either. No one seems like they're rushing around. I hope they didn't change their minds. No, I just had that dream where I was home. I couldn't have possibly done anything to change it already today. Unless I did change it, I don't know the rules. I guess I could have made it there on my own. Maybe that's what the unhappy faces are from. They don't agree to taking me home. They're arguing about it while I'm out of view. A growing weight of awkwardness from just standing here has my mind leaping to how I could fix this. Alette jumps up from her spot on the couch, weaving through people with a slight limp. She makes her way over to me with a hard, forced smile. It seems tight. Something for sure happened. Morning, she sweeps her hand against my shoulder to turn me towards the bar. Found some cereal for you. We don't have milk, though. That's fine. This is great. I don't need the milk. I'm thankful for any food I can do without the milk. I'm a bit lactose intolerant anyway. I'm a bit lactose intolerant anyways. Not enough that it would matter for a little bit of cereal milk, but it should ease whatever worries she has. Alette grabs the box off the counter. With it gone, I see a bowl and spoon set on the countertop. Alette rips open the top of the box and sets about opening the bag. You're wasting time. We need to make a decision. A male voice booms behind us. I cringe. I feel like I did something wrong. I can just leave if that makes things better. She needs to know. Now, another man says. I turn to the voices, but miss who says them. Stern lips or worried eyes are worn by all. My stomach drops and my chest clenches. The urgency in their voices is not normal. Something is wrong. What's going on? They're going to tell me to leave. I'm not welcome. I look to Alette for answers. Her forced smile has dropped. Let's go for a walk. She harshly places the cereal box back on the counter, and she swings a glare at the crowd, then starts leading the way. I follow her out the door. Alette uses her injured leg only as much as she needs to keep moving. She hops down the steps with her good leg. Is this where they kill me? I joke to myself. No, that doesn't make sense with what was said anyways. Wasting time. A decision needs to be made. I need to know something. But what? That they aren't taking me? They want me out as soon as possible? That's what makes the most sense. We walk almost straight out of the cabin and down a narrowing path forward. She stops suddenly to turn to face me. I took you through a portal last night to come here. You must know of magic by now. I nod. Magic created another realm, and we used the portals to get to each side. Alette pauses for me to acknowledge with another nod. So there was a fire, and it was too close to the portal by the time we noticed it to return you last night. We hoped it would pass without hitting the portal, and we needed time to let the fire die. That's why we let you sleep a quarter. We didn't want to worry you, but it burned down the portal. We tried to do what we could to save it, but obviously failed. The fire was too big. Alette stops suddenly to crouch down. Her hand moves along some blackened twigs in the ground. Charcoal comes off her fingers. I notice a bit of a trail of black speckles going over the pathway. I realize what this was the archway on our way to the cabin. I looked back towards the cabin. It was dark. It all looks different, but this should be about where that was. Was that portal? Is it like tree travel? James's tree nymph died, so they could no longer travel by the trees, but Raylene described a room inside of a tree as an in-between, though I imagine the space disappeared when the nymph died. But is it like that and you're in a magical room space and the only entrance just burnt down? So unfortunately, Alette continues as she rises. That puts us in a hard spot. Portals can take some time to grow from scratch, which, as you can see, this one is damaged beyond repair. It was burnt down on both sides. So that's what we were discussing, what to do, what our options are. Alette claps slightly as she swipes her hands together, trying to brush off the ash. I swallow through the syrup thickness in my throat. Questions whirl around my head, mostly out of reach. How long could it take? I finally asked. This one seems the most important question. Options. She said options. Options sound like there could be multiple things we could do. That sounds better than only one. About 300 days. A deep voice chimes in from behind me. This man hits the sunlight with a purplish sparkling hue. It's light, like the sparkle someone would have with sunscreen on. You don't really notice it in the dark, but you see it when the sun hits it. I don't remember seeing him last night. I make way across the path to the other side so I can face both of them at the same time. That was my pick. Grow a new portal in the forest, or we could even grow a portal straight to your backyard. If you have the exact address, Alette says. Okay, less than 1 year, portal in my backyard, option 1. What are the other options? A year is a long time to wait. I try to remember. Did Raylene and Dominique look a year older? Would I even be able to tell if I was looking for it? Certainly not with Dominique. Raylene maybe, but I didn't get a good look at her. Maybe that explains the haircut. I immediately crossed that out as a dumb thought. She could cut her hair at any time. Alette and the man look between each other. She looks back to me. Well, it's complicated. Even my pick is complicated, not ideal. I wish we had mushroom portal spores. It would take no time at all. Highly illegal, the man interjects. So we'd have to do a plan, which would take about 300 days. It's far too long for you to be away from your family and friends, but it would get you home to them eventually, safe and sound. Someone would have to get you a good stock of food from the other side, but that's pretty minor. She pulls in a deep breath between explanations. We only had a permit to grow one portal in the forest that burnt down, in this exact spot. Technically, to grow any new portal, we'd have to get another permit, which also takes time. So it involves getting a permit or growing a portal illegally, which wouldn't be the first time, honestly. But it comes with a steep punishment if caught. Maybe just a minor punishment if we grow an illegal portal in the exact place of our burnt one. Or, the man takes over, we could travel in this realm to another portal. No, Alette bites out harshly. She pierces the air with her glare. Why not? I bite my tongue. Alette could be protecting me. I don't know anything about this place. It could be too dangerous. Or someone could apply for the permit that we should get either way while we figured out a better plan. The gentleman continues on a different thought. And what if they deny it? They don't approve portals like they used to. We'd have to justify the location change, which we couldn't do reasonably, and they might deny it either way. Even if we're just asking to replace our old one, then we'd be on their radar and more likely to have inspections, and they know our portal is now gone. Our best bet is to open a portal in the exact place it was before and hope no one notices. Alette dashes away the thought with some disdain of bureaucracy. Someone could go to the nearest portal, travel back to the other side, and grow another one quicker to our location, he suggests. That sounds like Alette's plan, but quicker somehow? But if they could do that, why not just take me with them through to the other portal? It wouldn't grow in the same location. We can't hide it if it's in another location. She dismisses the thought. I open my mouth to voice my question, but it's too late. The male looks to me. I think we should disguise you, travel on this side, and take you to whatever portal we can find. Then move you on the other side to your home. You'd maybe be gone 6 months, not 25 to 30 years. Now his plan sounds better, even without the exaggeration. 6 months is far less time than a year, but it doesn't sound like it would even take that long. Not an option, it's too dangerous, Alette argues. Okay, but how dangerous? The words fail to escape my mouth before Alette and the man volley their argument back and forth louder and louder. Staying here could be dangerous too. Not as dangerous as your plan, Alette counters. She could die if she stays, he reveals. How? She could die if she leaves, and it's illegal, Alette counters. How? Only if we're caught, and you're forgetting that her being here is already illegal. They break their argument to cool off for a moment. The man returns his voice to his quieter, slightly irritated tone. All options need to be weighed, a fully informed decision, and I think the final decision is up to her. Your portal could fail, and she could be stuck here even longer. What are you going to do if something wipes out what's grown of the portal right before it's ready? If it doesn't fail on its own for no reason, start a new one, let her be gone for another 50, 60 years? I don't like the sound of that. A couple months does sound better time-wise, I say quietly, but Alette side-eyes me for my remark. But I wouldn't want to have to restart the year-long timer in 8 months, and then I'd be gone for a year and a half, never mind if it fails to become a portal, and we'd have to start over again after the year is up. What if the inspector comes along and finds us building an illegal portal? It's too long to expect that not to happen, and what if they find her here? How do you plan on hiding her? Alette takes a deep breath as she looks at me, studying my response and going over his options, maybe holding back a retort. Is leaving the wrong decision? Staying or leaving both sounds equally dangerous and illegal for some reason. Neither have explained why it's so dangerous to go, other than my assumption that it's probably more police that we could run into, more of a chance of being caught. Maybe it's a guarantee that we'd be caught. She turns back to the man. How do you plan on disguising her? We could glamour her as one of us, he suggests. What's glamour? Alette responds, until we get to a populated village, you know none of us have that kind of power. Magic. It must be a type of magic. Then we use some practical magic and glamour, hide her ears, cover her in makeup to make her shine, give her a vest, train her up on how to act. He makes it sound so simple, but I know it's a larger undertaking than the simple words. He makes it sound so simple, but I know it's a larger undertaking than the simple words. It also sounds like a lot of work. I hold back a remark about how I couldn't act to save my life. It seems like a lot of effort to smuggle me out. I realize that's exactly what they'd be doing. What's wrong with my ears? I look to both Alette and the man. Their ears have a short point to them, like Miles and Sean's ears. I recap. Hide me while I'm here. Portal inspectors, illegally grown portal. Permits for portals have been hard to get approved. I'm here illegally. There's a steep punishment if caught, maybe less if they are caught building a loot. There's a steep punishment if caught, but maybe less if they are caught building an illegal portal exactly where the last one was. Dangerous to leave. I'm lost as I feel like I'm missing so much information. We don't even know which portal could take her home or how long it could take to get there. I don't know about your knowledge, but my other side geography sucks. What if we pick a portal that takes her to the other side of the world? Are we going to be able to figure out how to get her home and how to get us back home? Or are you planning on sneaking her through an official portal? How are you going to get her past the guards? He shakes his head. We ask around for homegrown portals and where they go. He says simply. It shifts confidence negatively. If they don't know where to go and he just wants to ask around and see if someone knows where to go, while I'm also supposed to be hiding and it's illegal for me to be here. All we need is a couple of days and she'd be right on her way home. Less days here is less of a chance she's spotted and found out. This is stupid. I'm not risking execution of her and us if we got caught. My eyes snap to Alette. That's why she didn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to risk execution for a stranger either. No one said the punishment would be execution. If we get caught, he says again. This time hits differently. Before knowing execution was the price of getting caught, I imagined pulling off an elaborate heist. Now I just imagine death. What did we choose? Will I get home? The safest answer is to stay here, wait it out. My way guarantees that she makes it home eventually. We can hide her easier when we're not dragging her through villages or being suspicious and drawing attention. I agree with Alette. A year is much better than months when the other option is possible execution if caught. I made it home safe. It was around fall, but that could be next year. No one needs to be executed because of me. I'm okay with waiting. I let them know. I could always change my mind with this answer. I could think it over some more, weigh the possible and likelihood of consequences with each option, find out more information about this place and where they'd need to take me. We could figure out other options this way. It would be hard to do that while actively on our way to find a portal. If we start making a portal quickly, we could even change our minds at any point over the next year. We could spend the time figuring out a good plan. I need more information about this place. Alette seems convinced we'd be caught and dead if we leave. The other guy seems to think it would be a viable plan. Did anyone think about sending someone out as a scout to find a different portal, come back and figure out how to get me there? We could just do this as a backup plan. It would be safer than dragging me around until one is found. The man and Alette exchange hard looks. Fine. His angered bite holds my tongue. I'll bring up the idea later when everyone isn't so mad. But someone should go out and try to support the portal on the other side. Are you going to volunteer? Alette baits him. You know I can't. He looks through her hard, a silent conversation happening between them. The man turns around and goes to the long cabin. Alette stands for a minute before she heads back too. I don't want to be left behind, so I go after her.